Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be painting this little fox and talking through the process so that you can paint along with me. So if you're going to be doing that, grab your paints and your brushes and let's get cracking. And if you're just here to watch some satisfying sped up watercolouring, then grab a coffee and enjoy. I really enjoyed creating this painting of this little fox, and I think I'd like to paint some more animals in the future, so leave a suggestion in the comments. What animal do you think I should paint next? So my first step for painting was I took a cream shade that I'd already mixed before I started filming, and I added a teeny tiny little spot of red to it to make it slightly pink, and I used that to paint the inner bits of the fox's ears. And then I used the cream shade that I'd kept separate from the bit that I'd added red to, and I used that to do the white bits, because if I just tried to paint it straight up white then you won't be able to see that because I'm painting on white paper and that's a waste of time, so it's ever so slightly cream. Then, while those white bits were drying, I took a teeny tiny bit of green and I painted the fox's irises a nice green shade. I thought it would contrast really nicely to the red fur. So before I started filming, I had mixed 5 different shades of green, and I started to use those here to fill in the wreath of leaves that I've got going around my fox here. I had a lot of fun mixing the different shades of green. So 2 of them were like a typical emerald green and a forest green, just like very basic green shades. I did one that was a sort of duller green and I added a bit of blue to that one, and one I added a little bit of yellow to, so it was more of a lime green, and finally I added a little bit of red to one of them, and it makes this really cool little autumnal brown shade that's really good for paintings like this one, where the main focus is going to have a lot of warm shades, so like the oranges and stuff. It just sort of tied it all together that the leaves surrounding it had a little dab of another colour in there as well. Remember as well that there is not a leaf on this planet that is just entirely one colour. So definitely when you're mixing the shades for this, have fun with it, you know, make up whatever colours that you want to make. And also it's really fun to experiment with like blending and mixing them on the page. So quite often I'd paint a whole leaf green and then I'd take a little bit of the red shade or the yellow shade and I'd sort of like dab a little bit in and watch it like bleed out and fan out over the leaf, and yeah, it created a really interesting result. So I'd really recommend having a little bit of fun, experimenting, and yeah, doing your leaves like that. If you are one of the people that's just watching this video for a little bit of fun and you don't feel like painting your own little fox, first of all, why? This is the best companion I've ever painted for myself. And second, I have an Etsy store and this is available as a printable PDF on there, so you can print unlimited copies of that to use in scrapbooks, in your bullet journal, put them on a greetings card or in a little frame for a decoration somewhere in your house. Yeah, so there's a link to that in the description if you're interested in that. So as well as mixing myself some green shades, I'd also mixed some orange shades, and yeah, I had a big variety of orange shades actually. Some of them were more red, some more yellow, one was actually more brown than it was orange. So I used those shades to fill in the fox's face, shoulders, legs and tail. I applied the colours to the page in like a random order and then just tried to blend and mix them together on the page, try and make them bleed into one another. I kept adding little like spots of extra water to see what that would do to the paints, and yeah, that sort of thing created a really interesting range of colours and a really interesting texture to the painting itself. I always try to emphasise that one of the most important things you can remember when you're working with watercolours is that you need to be patient. So any colour next to the one that you're currently painting needs to be completely dry. So the green of the leaves, the green of the eyes, make sure they are completely dry. Because if you don't do that, then they can accidentally bleed together. And while I did want a range of colours in my leaves, I didn't want bright fox orange into them. So yeah, make sure you're really careful with making sure that everything is completely dry before you continue with your painting. Maybe take some time to watch some cat compilations on YouTube or something. So once that orange was completely dry, I used a dark brown shade to accent the tips of my little fox's ears and its feet and going up its ankles and legs. I looked up some pictures of foxes when I was doing the little sketch for this one, and yeah, I noticed that most of them have got little brown paws, and that's so cute. So yeah, definitely make sure you do the dark brown paws if you're painting this yourself. So once all of that paint had dried completely, I used my Unipin fine liners in the size 0.1 to outline the image. So for the facial features, I used a black fine liner, and in the eyes and on the nose I tried to draw like a little catchlight so that it looks like its eyes are shiny and happy and bright. For the leaves I used a dark grey colour, and for outlining the fox's body I used a dark brown one. But they were all 0.1 and they were all from Unipin. And I will link all of the supplies that I've used today in the description as well, so you can pick them up really easily from Amazon. I do have an affiliate link with Amazon, so when you buy through those links I do earn a small commission. It's no extra cost to you, but yeah, it helps me to keep feeding my cats whenever they demand. So thank you if you do use those links. I had also been a bit haphazard with my orange paint, so a little bit had got into the white of the fox's eyes. So I used my, I think it's Unipin, it's a Posca paint pen, and it's like white paint. It's sort of like those Tipex pens that people used to use in school, and I just used that to brighten up that white and colour over the bits where I had accidentally painted them orange. Whoops. So once I'd finished outlining everything, I built myself this little contraption out of a roll of masking tape and a cup, and I put that so that the image of the fox was protected when I tried to create these paint splatters. And what I started doing at first was I was pulling up the bristles and then letting them go, and I'd seen that work for some people, but that did not work for me. So the method that I found was more effective was to hold the brush over the page and then lightly tap on the sticky bit of the brush that's not the bristles. What do you call that? The handle. Yeah, so I used that to chuck the paint on, and that was so much more effective. But yeah, we have finished with the painting, so I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, I hope you'll give the video a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around to see some more videos. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching, have a lovely day, and goodbye!